And welcome back to another edition of the Sports Report. As always, I'm your host, Jake Griffith, and I'm joined at the stand-up desk by Lynx football coach Dale Carlson. And Coach Carlson, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good. You know, it's another week, another chance to go out and play and prepare, and so we're excited about Olivet Nazarene coming up.
And as you mentioned, you guys do have Olivet Nazarene on the schedule. Game day is quickly approaching this Saturday. Before we get to the Olivet game, let's talk about last week. When I last talked to you, which was Saturday right after the game, I know there wasn't a whole lot of analysis, still had to look at the tape. It's Wednesday of this week. You guys have had a little bit of chance to look at the tape. What did you see from the game against Siena Heights that you guys need to improve upon?
Sure. You know, tackling, obviously, on defense was a factor, and a lot of times in the first game you're going to have missed tackles. We haven't really done anything live against anybody in a game speed situation, so definitely tackling has to improve. I counted on 2 back-to-back plays that we missed 10 tackles, on 2 plays. So that's got to change for sure. That's one of the things that we've worked hard on this week to get better at as we begin to prepare for Olivet Nazarene. The second part is when you really break the game down, it's very evident in terms of offensively what hurt us is, the first thing is we didn't win first downs. We have a goal that we want to get 4+ yards or more 50% of the time on first down. We're only 38%. And then, of course, our third down conversion percentage was abysmal at 2 of whatever it was. But another key in that is we only had 1 third and short the whole ball game. So offensively, we weren't putting ourselves in position to convert, to keep the chains moving, to keep possession of the ball. We put the defense on the field too much. So those are things that we really have to improve on. We've got to win first down on offense. We've got to be better, obviously, in third down. We got to tackle better on defense.
Now, you referenced the offense winning the first downs and better third down conversion. Would you, as the head coach, point to a specific region of the offense, or just say an offense as a whole?
Offense was a whole. You look at the video, and again, we took an offensive scheme, we put it in for 4 weeks, and it seemed that as we got to the first game, we kind of forgot about executing the individual assignments and techniques, more so technique-wise than anything else. And so that's something we've really been coaching up this week, is if we say to take 4 steps, make sure it's 4 steps, make sure it's not 6 or 8 or 9. And it was those little things. And I've got a list of about 5 things that we have to do every Saturday to win, and one of them is to just take care of the little things. And so if you're supposed to take a 4-inch step, or as an offensive lineman, if you're supposed to take 4 steps as a receiver before you break, you have to do those things. And we didn't do those on Saturday, and that's one of the reasons why we got beat.
Now, I do want to talk about a slightly underrated aspect of football, and that is the special teams. As far as the return game goes, you guys had a very good return game in the game against Siena Heights. JT Washington almost broke a couple open for touchdown returns off the punt returns. But as far as the long snapping goes, that seemed to be sort of an issue in the game against Siena Heights. How are you guys correcting that?
Right. Well, first thing, and it's not an excuse. Our starting long snapper is out right now. So we had 2 different players snapping. We've been having auditions at practice this week. You can't make excuses. If somebody's hurt, somebody's got to step up and make some plays. And that was those were critical errors. We gave away a couple of points, a couple of touchdowns, and a safety based on poor snaps. So that's got to get cleaned up. The other part too, that we should have blocked at least 3 punts, and we had poor technique on the punt block. So we've got to coach that up better from a coaching staff as well, and make sure our players are prepared to execute that technique a lot better than we did last week.
Now, I want to fast forward to this week's game. Last season, the Lynx did beat Olivet Nazarene here at Lynx Stadium, one of the 2 wins for the Lynx. What do you guys have to do, one, to get that win again this season, this time at a hostile Olivet Nazarene environment?
Sure. First thing is, as a group, we got to learn how to travel. That's always an interesting thing when you take your first trip, especially because we do have some young players that are going to be on the trip. So it's about making sure we're in the right mindset when we get up there for kickoff on Saturday at 6 o'clock. The other part that we have to clean up are the things that I talked about. It really isn't so much what they're doing, we have to step up and we have to execute. We have to execute our offense. We have to execute in the kicking game. We have to tackle better. Those things that we just talked about. So really the focus isn't so much on them as it is on us and our team getting better. And the other thing I told our team is last year was last year. and you beat them, and that's great, but that was last year. So if you're coming in with a mindset that, we beat these guys pretty good, all we got to do is show up and win, we're going to be in trouble. So we've really been working on making sure our mindset is right, that it's a new year, it's a new team, and so we better come ready to play.
Now, I know you said sort of figuratively the ball is in your guys' court as far as it's more about what you guys have to do, not what they bring to the table. But what does this team bring to the table? What can we expect from the Olivet Nazarene attack?
Sure. They're going to challenge us a little bit defensively because it's going to be a different scheme. They run a 3-4 defensive scheme, which it's the first time we've seen an odd front 3-down look. So just again, with the new offensive scheme and training our linemen in terms of recognition and assignments and our running backs and pass protection, as well as seeing the run blocking fits and then where the backs are going to fit in off those blocks is a challenge in itself, just because everything is new and now it's a new defensive look. So we have to make sure that we understand that part of it. The second part is we're not quite sure what they're going to do offensively. Their starting quarterback got knocked out. Looked like a pretty serious injury on videotape. He's not listed in there too deep this week, so we kind of don't have a real good idea of what are they going to do offensively with the looks like 2 quarterbacks that they might play. So there's that challenge of trying to figure out what's their next step with their starting quarterback out, because their backup quarterback's a little bit different, more of a runner, where their starting going in was more of a passer type of player. So we're kind of delving back into last year's video to kind of see what they were doing last year in their offense, and working on both this year's schemes and last year's schemes, because they have a new offensive coordinator. So it's kind of a crapshoot from there too in terms of what they're going to do. So we're trying to kind of work on everything and just be prepared.
Now, injury update on TJ Dunks. I know the punter for the Lynx, he had a slight concussion in the past game. How does he look in practice?
Well, he passed his concussion protocol on Sunday, that's a really positive sign. So he's been gradually working his way back into, so he should be ready to go on Saturday. Thank
you for all your time, Coach. We'll go ahead and let you get back and get some game plans and some schemes for Saturday's game. You can tune in to 89.1 HD3 The Link at 5:30 p.m. Central Time and catch the pregame show for the Lynx as they take on Olivet Nazarene this Saturday at 6 p.m. For everyone here at LBTV, I'm Jake Griffith. This has been an edition of the Sports Report. Tune in next week, same time, same place. Until then.